All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another live recording of the Managed Partners podcast. This is my second one today. So thanks for joining me yet again. Again, my name is Kevin Daisy. I'll be your host. We run Array Digital. We're a digital marketing agency, specifically working with law firms to help grow their pipelines. But today we have a special guest, William London. Thanks for coming on. And you go by Bill as well, right?
Oh, I do, Kevin. Thank you very much for having me. It's great.
Yes, sir. So William here is coming in from California. Has spent some time in Virginia, where I'm located. But tell us a little bit about your journey, how you decided to practice as an attorney, and kind of how you evolved to go into practice and a partner at the firm you're at now.
Oh, sure. Maybe I didn't have a choice. My grandfather was an attorney. My dad's an attorney, and yeah. So
family business,
and it's. And I think when I first started to get interested in it in college, everything I heard was, well, it's a great profession because you get exposed to a wide variety of work. It's very intellectually stimulating. You can advance over your course of your career. You can be compensated well. Of course, it's challenging, starting with law school and then getting your feet under you when you begin your career. But it can also be rewarding, very satisfying to be a counselor to your clients, to help them in a time of need. So, and I was especially attracted to the I do a wide variety of transactional work, but I do a lot of trust and estate work. My grandfather was a trust attorney, my godfather as well. And I especially like the personal connection I make with my trust clients. I mean, you really get to know them and their families. They really rely on you. They reveal a lot of information about their family makeup, situation, assets, goals, everything. And so it's a great connection. I've made, good clients, also good friends through that work. So,
yeah. Excellent. So I guess a little bit about the firm and everyone check out the website below. I put it down here on the screen. I'll also put that in the comments here in just a second so everyone can click and hit that link. But tell us a little bit about some of all the practice areas that you handle there at the firm, as far as the other attorneys, but also what you really specialize in.
Sure. So we are currently a 12-person firm. We've been growing rapidly. We were at 4 people just a couple of years ago, and
Wow.
even with the pandemic, we've been growing really fast. We're very lucky for that. In addition, we're kind of unique because typically a firm of this size may only focus on one practice area, whereas we have 3 departments. I'm the head of the transactional department, which covers business transactions, real estate transactions, and trust and estates work. We have a litigation department, about business and commercial litigation, dispute resolution. And then we have a personal injury department. So catastrophic injury, death, car accidents, slip and fall, all are covered under the personal injury department. And then to add even another more interesting layer to our practice, we have a wide variety of languages spoken at the firm. So we have Spanish speaker, we have Japanese speakers, we have Chinese speakers, of which I am one. So I'm not a native speaker, but pretty nearly fluent in Mandarin Chinese.
Wow.
I'd say about a quarter of my clients are monolingual Chinese speakers. And, I've given talks all in Chinese. I've given meetings, legal topics all in Chinese. And we have a native speaker legal translator on our staff full time for help. But Well, it makes for an interesting practice. Yeah, you encounter
That's
all
very
different
unique.
types of
That's awesome.
issues. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I saw on your website the where you can, it looks like you can switch the translation, and so I assume that's why that's there. Okay, that's excellent. So, I guess random question is, where are you from originally?
Oh, well, how long do we have? About a half hour? So, no.
Well, I noticed
I
you have
was,
a little bit of an accent, so I was just interested to see where
oh,
you're from.
sure. No,
Unless you're
I
from a
remember,
lot of
I
places.
remember, yeah, I remember mentioning this story to someone, a younger person, and they said, "Oh, you must be running from the law." So, no, that's not the case. But uh, I was born in New York, lived in Connecticut till high school. Then we moved to California and uh, back east for law school. I was in D.C. for 3 years. Lived a couple years in Virginia uh, during law school, and then also spent a couple years living and working in China, and that's where I picked up Chinese.
Okay.
But kind of full circle here, back to California and Orange County, Southern California, which is a wonderful place for to have a practice and to have a family and young children. So it's a nice spot to be.
Excellent. All right. Excellent. Thanks for that background.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into questions about, your firm, what you guys are doing. You're a lot of success with growth, which is great to hear. And so I want to learn more about what you're doing, and the managing partners that are tuning in want to know, hey, what is William doing? What has he done? How can I extract some value out of this episode? So that's why we're here. Right. So
Yeah.
when it comes to getting clients through the door, whether they fill out a form, phone call, a referral, what are some of the tactics marketing wise are you guys practicing? And what are you doing that may be unique? Anything different that's worked well for you to attract clients to the firm?
Isn't this a good topic? There's all different techniques. We have a marketing plan. I think more than anything else, you have to do good work. You have to make your clients happy. They're going to be the best sources of future work, the best marketers for you as they go out into the community with their colleagues or friends. So first and foremost, you try to do a good job, and I think that is noticed not only by your clients but opposing counsel. We've had opposing counsel on several cases refer clients to our firm because they've been impressed with our work. If you're working with a financial advisor or CPA or any other type of professional to serve your client's needs on the client's case, if you're doing a good job, they want to connect with you and maybe develop a cross referral relationship. So, no money out of pocket to do a good job on client work. You don't have to throw a lot of money on online advertising or print advertising, which of course is important, but starting from doing good work, I think is a really important thing to do. But
100%.
yeah, we're also involved in a good amount of networking groups with lawyers, with non-lawyers. That's a good way to get your name out there, especially when you're first getting started.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's how my business was started. 100% grassroots, meeting people, shaking
Right.
hands, doing good work.
Yeah.
You got to do good work 100%. So
Right.
you don't go very far if you're not doing good work.
Yeah.
And then you got to resort to advertising and other things that, to get people to come to the door. Are there other, as far as, I've looked at your website, nice website. What are some of the, maybe some digital things that you're doing outside of the good work and referrals? Are there certain initiatives or things that you guys have done to maybe rank on Google or with the website, social media? Are there other things like that you guys are involved in?
Sure. Well, that's exactly right. My very next point would be, if you do all this good work, but you don't promote yourself, you're really shooting yourself in the foot because, we have a internal software for client management and firm
Okay.
administration. And so anytime we have a good result, we post internally this victory story for what we did for the client. And now we have a administrative assistant full-time, a relatively new hire. It's not maybe the first hire you make when you're starting a firm, but now we have that hire, and her job is to take all of those victories and package them into postings that we can do on LinkedIn, newsletters, whether it's email or physical mail to clients and other centers of influence. Not just LinkedIn, but Facebook, our website, doing blog posts. So,
Excellent.
yeah, and
Yeah,
video.
that's good.
Yeah.
And video too.
Yeah. I did the last video I did. So this one's a little bit easier for me because the last video I did was about a month ago on real estate, all in Chinese. So that it's a little easier to speak English here for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess I can't check that video out because I want to know what you're saying, but I'd like to know more about the real estate stuff. But okay, excellent. So that's you guys are doing some right things right there. It's you're doing the good work. You're collecting basically almost like a testimonial or the performance, and you can just waste that, but you guys are bringing that forward. You're packaging up and putting it out in different channels. It's a great plan. It's a great idea. And I feel like a lot of people, a lot of people they don't have a plan, but they also just don't like to ask their clients for referrals or like that. And honestly, if you just have a plan built in and doing what you're doing, for one, the clients are going to be happy to give you a referral. But if you don't ask, sometimes they might, not get that. But also, if you don't extract those stories, from the work that you're doing, like you said, shooting yourself in the foot. So
Yeah.
Great marketing plan. I love that.
Oh no. Yeah.
Are you guys doing anything other things like Google Ads or any kind of advertising and things like that as well?
We haven't. We might have tried that very briefly, but I don't think we gave it a fair shot. I do know that we've had some analysis done, and maybe it goes without saying, but the personal injury line of the work, and also a little surprising to me, the estate dispute or estate litigation. Those are two areas that are heavily searched online, and so you need to kind of cast a wide net for that. Right. And so I think that, getting higher up in the search rankings for those keywords, maybe even spending some on ads would be really helpful. I would certainly for PI, personal injury work. Yes. All you need is one good case. If you spend a bunch of money on advertising, but you get a really good case out of it, it's well worth it. And if you don't spend anything on advertising, you may never get a good case. So
yeah. I mean, you're speaking, preaching the choir over here, but because that's a lot of what we do. We help firms get leads and cases, but it starts with what you said. You got to do good work. You have to be able to have the integrity and just do good by clients, and then the other things are on top of that. Also, I think that shows through. So if you are advertising or doing things that get ranking and someone does come in, they're likely to convert higher than, a firm that just straight, does crazy commercials and advertises all day long and they're on every side of the buses and stuff like that. So I think they see that you guys have the case studies, you have the testimonials, you have the clients, you're doing the good work. Then that advertising or efforts will go even further. And I always tell people this, or managing partners for sure. A lot of attorneys, they're built on referrals and relationships, which makes sense, and everyone should have that, and that should always be your main, you're a big focus of what you do. But think about Google as another referral source. I'm searching, I need your help, but I don't know you exist. So you can either be there to assist me or you don't show up. I can't actually reach out to you for your help. So that's just kind of one of the ways I think about it is if I think I can help someone and they're looking for my service, why not let them try to find me so I can at least have that conversation?
Oh, sure. And I think consumer-based law practices, you're going to get people looking online for this
Sure.
type of thing. Yeah, it's so convenient for the consumer to do a search. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, on the business side, business law types like that, I think it's, there are certain things, like for me, like we have business attorneys that we work with. There's definitely a certain practice areas that I feel like you're going to get more of a trusted referral than I would go search for.
Right.
And then there's other types of law that I definitely would never ask for a referral to, like divorce or maybe even personal injury, because there's certain things I just don't want people to maybe know, right? So I'm going to go do my own research. I'm going to go search online. I think also too, from the business side or some of the other things is there's probably a lot of people moving to your area, right? That might not have that, neighbor referral or someone they trust because they just moved in. So now their source is, well, I guess I got to go search because I don't know anyone here. So unless you practice everywhere. So it's just a couple of things like that. Think about how people search, how they operate, and whether or not you want to be in a firm or not. Then creating a strategy and executing on that. So that's kind of how we think.
Mm. Well, and I would say too, when a client comes in the door, we have an idea of why they're here, if they're referred to us and stuff. But we never know for sure exactly what went through their mind. So they may get a lukewarm endorsement from someone, but then they go on our website and there's something they like about if it looks professional or one of our backgrounds or our content. So, we're not sure. We're never 100% sure exactly what was the deciding factor for them. So from a business owner's perspective, and we're in a competitive environment here, you want to try to just make sure you're not lacking in any regard. Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. I think, that's a good point. What I know I try to do if I'm intercepting a potential lead or a client is I ask them, hey, how'd you find us? And what made you decide to, reach out to us today? What was the driving factor? Like, just so I understand them a little bit better. I really want to understand their thinking, and that might help me adjust things that we're doing. Hey guys, I've seen a lot of people come through and they said they liked this. So let's do more of that. We're hearing a lot of clients that, whatever made them decide to fill out our form or give us a call. So it might be a good practice for you to do. But okay, well, no, let's get on to another question or two, and then we don't want to waste too much of your time. And I don't want you to have to bill me, for this time here.
Yeah, no, don't worry. Yeah.
So what are some? You mentioned you managing your pipeline. Some of the software that you use. What are you guys using for that?
Oh, sure. So we use Clio as a practice management software. It handles all of our contact information for clients, our billing. We do conflict checks through Clio. Handle client trust accounts through that, and then another big software for us is Microsoft Teams. So just internal communication, case notes, compiling documents for the cases. That's very convenient. So we're a relatively newer firm. We're all three partners are relatively on the younger side, although we all have about 10 years each of legal experience as lawyers. But we're able to take on this new software and use it. Whereas I know there's some other firms out there that have been around for a while that they're probably on email, but not much more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's excellent. I mean, Clio is a great software. A lot of our clients use that. I hear that quite often. And then Microsoft Teams and all the things now too. Are you guys fully back in the office full time? Did you ever leave the office? And how'd that go?
Oh, sure. Well, we've had some folks who've worked from home occasionally, although all three partners here have been here, with the exception of maybe a week. We've been here the entire time. And I think that set a good kind of example for the rest of the staff. Of course, we don't require people to be here, but if they see the partners showing up, I think they're more inclined to think it's a good idea to show up too. And, there's all this technology out there, but
Yeah.
especially because we've had a lot of growth, a lot of new employees for onboarding and training and developing a culture. It's tough to do online. It's not impossible, but it's tough to do online, and it's just much easier to, cultures developed not just through a planned meeting, but through impromptu bump into someone in the hall, or you ride the
Yeah.
elevator
100%.
together, or you get lunch together. Yes. So that's been a real blessing for us that we've had this office environment throughout this tough time.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
We went from home for a while, but we made, a few months back, we're like, we need to be in the office. We even questioned the office at one point. We're a digital company, and we do have quite a few people that are in other states, so they're not here physically. But we knew the office built our culture by having that environment, and we just couldn't lose that. And again, while we do have remote folks, they get to see the office on video, and we still have a lot, some in-person events per year where we fly people to get together and trying to maintain that. But it's a very important piece of how we built our culture. And so that's good that you guys recognize that. And I think that's a good move for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, real quick, last question, and I'll let you go, is what's the next year or up to 5 years? What's the look like? What is on the radar? What's your plans? What's your strategy for growth? What are you seeing?
Oh, sure. Well, we've been building out our individual departments. So we have, let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3. We have 3 staff attorneys now. I think we're going to probably at least double that in the next couple of years, so that each department has a lead partner and perhaps a couple associate attorneys, and then of course with paralegal and legal assistant staff there. I think that's probably a good amount of balance. I mean, we want to be able to still do legal work, not just manage a law firm all the time, but we also want to be able to cater to and be able to service, some of the bigger clients out there who would need a certain amount of staff. I mean, one of the nice things about our firm is we have partner rates, associate attorney rates, paralegal rates, even case manager rates. So anytime we take on a project, we can staff the project in a cost-effective manner.
Excellent.
Right, compared to maybe a smaller firm out there who only has partners, and then we're nowhere near the rates that a larger firm would have. And then our partners are heavily involved in the cases, which is not always the case at a bigger firm. So yeah, I think we want to get to maybe about 10 attorneys by the time we hit the 5-year mark, 5 years from now.
Excellent.
And I think that'll be a happy medium between practicing law and also managing a team.
That's excellent. I mean, that's a good goal. It sounds like you guys have been growing pretty well, and you're on your way. So exciting, very exciting.
No.
Excellent. Well, again, it is 5, so I will on 5 my time. What time is it there? You're 3 hours behind us, I believe.
Well, if you say it's 5, I'll stop working myself. No, it's 2 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Anything else you want to add? Again, the website address is below. I'll put that in the comments. Is there also another way that people can reach out to you, another managing partner, or someone listening to the podcast? Is there a way they can connect with you? Whether it's through a profile or directly.
Oh, sure. Well, LinkedIn's pretty easy. We're all on LinkedIn here at the firm, and you can send a message or connect with me through LinkedIn. We have on our website, we have a place where you can submit a question or get in touch with us. Obviously, the phone number's there too. But happy to connect with other managing partners. I think one of the nice things about this role is, you connect with other people. You get to learn a lot about what they're doing, and they may learn from you. So, yeah, happy to be on this forum with you here, Kevin, and happy to connect with anyone who would like to. So.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. And then that's what the show's all about. And trying to, I know for me, I run a business, and sometimes it's lonely as an entrepreneur, and having others to talk to, others to learn from. And that's what we're really trying to accomplish here, is that, hopefully someone can listen to what you're doing and the growth and your ambitions and take something away from that. So we appreciate you sharing your story and about your firm. And so everyone tuning in right now too, if you're want to see episodes like this, and also William's episode, which will be out in the podcast soon, you can go to raylaw.com/podcast. William will also have this up on our my LinkedIn. It'll be on YouTube, Facebook. So, and then we'll be featuring William quite often as the next couple of weeks go by, when we get some of this content developed. So, William,
I can't say thanks enough, Kevin. That was a real pleasure. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, if you could just stick around, when I end here, we're live still right now, but when we end, stay on with me for a few seconds. We'll just chat real quick before you go.
Sounds good.
We'll do that in a second. So also, anyone, other managed partners tuning in, we're raylaw.com. We help firms just like Williams to build their cases, build their leads, fill their pipeline. So any questions about that, let me know. You don't have to work with us necessarily to talk to us. So we can take a look at what you're doing and see if we can help. So go to raylaw.com. And thanks for tuning in again to another live recording of the Managed Partners Podcast. William, it's 5:00.
That's right.
I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.